Hello, I am Dr. Chester Wilk. America is in very serious trouble. Our incompetent amateur traders are unskilled political hacks who are being taken advantage of and fleeced by all the other countries on trade while we give everything away, including our kitchen sink. The last 7 years, we've been like a freight train heading toward a cliff, and the cliff is becoming dangerously closer. We were a wealthy nation at one time, but now under Obama, we've become the biggest debtor nation in the entire world. Our nation must conduct itself more like an intelligent, compassionate, and responsible corporation and balance its books, or we will bankrupt. Our politicians are complicating matters by driving our corporations overseas with higher taxes and lowering our gross national product while making other countries wealthier in the process, like China, Japan, Mexico, South Korea, Saudi Arabia. There's an evil and unselfish influence in the world. For example, we've outlawed profiling, which is a very effective tool to fight crime. And then we created sanctuary cities to harbor our criminals and illegal aliens after they enter. We've created an open border to all the riffraff from around the world so they can enter and allow the Mexican drug cartel to profit and destroy our citizens with unlawful drugs. Our politicians are beholden to lobbyists and special interest groups who are hurting America, and especially pharma, except for Donald Trump, who brings a very refreshing and huge advantage to the American people by refusing any special interest money and is putting America's interests first. Do you know there are 2.5 drug lobbyists for every legislator in America who have the politicians in their back pocket, including Senator Cruz? I witnessed it with my landmark antitrust lawsuit against the AMA and 10 other medical organizations. The Justice Department refused to file an amicus brief, even though we had won the case and we had to do their job, which they should have done. You can see Wilk et al. Versus AMA et al. On the web. My lawsuit became well known in over 100 countries where chiropractic is practiced. Legal drug abuse is very serious and a major costly public health problem in America, killing 165,000 people a year. You know, that's over 3,000 deaths a week, which is a modern-day medical surgical holocaust. Yet, we are abysmally ignorant as to how we are hurting ourselves with drugs. If drugs are supposed to be so good, why do they have to spend $50 million a day? Did you hear me? That's $50 million a day promoting them. Prescription drugs actually kill more people than traffic accidents, guns, AIDS, breast cancer, diabetes, respiratory diseases, and stroke. These damning statistics were published in medical journals. They don't even hide these facts. They don't cover them up. Our debt will soon be $21 trillion. It is naive to think that our grandchildren will ever be able to pay it back should the interest on our debt exceed our national income. We can still pay it back now with the right leadership, like with Donald Trump, before it becomes too large to handle. After it hits the point of no return, we're finished. Do the American people realize the seriousness of this? China will never forgive our debt and will impose intolerable demands upon us, and we won't like their demands. We will be at their mercy and become their slaves. We better wake up, folks. And regarding a wall on the southern border, all we need to do is dig a deep trench, drop a flex-score concrete slab into it, and we will have a very tall, beautiful, and impenetrable wall at a fraction of the cost of what we lose every year on trade with Mexico. What it will save us every year thereafter will be priceless, and only Trump brought out this major advantage. Whether you like Trump's candor or not, this is all about survival as a nation. I was on a flight to South Dakota in 1974, and I happened to sit right next to Senator George McGovern, who unsuccessfully tried to become our president. He was the most likable person I had ever met. He's someone like you like to have as a next-door neighbor you can talk to across the fence. But he went into business for himself afterwards and bankrupted. So he couldn't even run his own business without bankrupting. There's a stern message for us if we want to see it. Senators sit in their ivory towers without hands-on experience. We need a businessman with an excellent record. Look at the mess we got into with Senator Obama, and he wasn't even a U.S. senator. Trump parlayed $1 million into $11 billion. That's with the B, billion dollars. He accomplished 1,000 times more in his lifetime than all the other candidates combined, or will ever do. However, that's the kind of leadership we need in the White House. Trump is not only a great businessman, negotiator, but has great wisdom and foresight. He was right on speaking out against going into the Middle East quagmire. He's right on the wall. He's right on trade. He's right on a potential bankruptcy on trade if we don't change our direction. He's right on keeping the oil in Iraq and preventing ISIS from profiting from it. He's right on how we can't be the police for the entire world, as it'll bankrupt us. He's right that these wealthy countries need to carry their own weight as we help them, and we go broke doing it. He's right about sanctuary cities. He's right on eliminating Common Core. Trump is right on Obamacare. You know, competition forces our providers to strive to give better service and products than their competitors, or lose the sale of their products or service. If you remove competition, the prices go up and the quality goes down. He was right about NAFTA being an expensive disaster. He sees Trans-Pacific Partnership, called TPP, as a bad deal. He's right on the hazard of bringing in unidentified people into America as potential ISIS terrorists, since Christians are hated, persecuted, and killed in the Middle East. All of these concerns and ideas originated from Donald Trump. He shows incredible wisdom, common sense, and foresight. How many significant ideas have the other politicians contributed? Can you come up with one? Trump very generously won't accept a salary as president. He's going to bring in the smartest business minds in America to work with him on trade and work gratis, and put the interests of the American people first. Hey, it doesn't get any better than that, folks. We'd be very foolish to pass this up. I don't believe Obama's a Christian. Trump offered $50 million to a charity of President Obama's choice if he simply released his birth certificate prior to a specified date. President Obama released his birth certificate after the specified date and thereby denied any charity from receiving $50 million. No Christian would deliberately do that. And nobody questioned about it. Put him on the spot. And let me give you two more examples. President Obama swapped a deadbeat military deserter for 5 dangerous terrorists, which was an inexcusable and impeachable act, and he got away with it. Then he nominated a lawyer to the Civil Rights Division of the U.S. Department of Justice, who tried to reopen a court case to get a convicted murderer, Abu Jamal, out of jail, who had shot a cop between the eyes and even bragged about it. These 3 events transcend stupidity. This took an evil influence from the devil. All 10 of the Democrats on the Judicial Committee disgracefully supported Obama's nomination. Fortunately, the Republicans blocked his nomination. I listed 38 wrongful things which President Obama and the Democrats did to harm America in my video on YouTube entitled "The Devil is Influencing President Obama." I urge you to watch it. If the devil was president, he'd do exactly what President Obama is doing today. And he's in all these terrible things, and he gets away with it. Now, meanwhile, Donald Trump is trying to eliminate all these harmful things President Obama and the Democrats did to America, and he and his family is being threatened, hated, viciously attacked, envied, and grossly mischaracterized. What sustains Trump is the love and support he receives from people who realize that he's trying to accomplish for America. Even his enemies respect him as a brilliant leader. Trump is in the center of a fierce spiritual battle between good and evil and between love and hate. These misguided critics can't attack Trump's accurate and brilliant message with credibility or his great foresight, wisdom, and common sense and judgment, so they attack him personally as a messenger. I believe the devil is a person and not a symbol of evil. He convinces people into believing that he doesn't exist, except as a silly cartoon character. If you mention the devil, you face the danger of appearing like some kind of a religious nut. World-renowned pastor Dr. John Phillips had the best answer, and he said, and I quote, "Our enemies are not people. We must see beyond people. Satan may use people to persecute us, lie to us, cheat us, hurt us, or even kill us. But our real enemy lurks in the shadows of the unseen world, moving people as pawns on the chessboard of time. As long as we see people as enemies and wrestle with them, we will spend our strength in vain." And that's it, folks. It was predicted 50 years ago by a woman, which I only knew as Mrs. Budek, who told me I would write a book and expand my interest beyond chiropractic, and that I would become, in her words, more famous. The reason she said more famous is because this was after I sued the American Medical Association and won the antitrust lawsuit. I eventually realized that she had to be my guardian angel, since she made at least 23 predictions with 100% accuracy. This could only be divine intervention. Hence, I published a video on YouTube entitled, "I Was Guided by My Guardian Angel." Once again, I was guided by my guardian angel. Take time out and listen to it on TV. I think you will, on the web. I think you'll be absolutely amazed. If anyone wants to challenge the accuracy of what I say here, I will take a polygraph test, and I will give anyone who challenges me $10,000 if I fail the test. But if I pass this polygraph test, the challenger must pay for the polygraph test and agree to pay me $10,000. Fair enough? Anyone can make this claim, but I can back it up with a polygraph. And by the way, so can my nephew. Both of us. Polygraphs are rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau. They're used by the FBI, CIA, and police. And they have a very high credible rating. You can't fool polygraphs. This is why I became convinced that the good Lord is using Donald Trump to give America another chance to survive from bankruptcy. Of course, Trump is not perfect. You'll have to agree that he's 100 times better than all the other presidential candidates combined. It's no contest. America needs Donald Trump to put America on the right track and make it better than ever, greater than ever. The choice should be a no-brainer after you realize all that he suffered in terms of making America better and what he has accomplished. Our status quo politicians will bankrupt us if we don't wise up. Our next election will decide if we choose to become winners or losers. One final thought. Mitt Romney went to sleep toward the end of the election and let Barack Obama get into office, and now Romney wants to stop Donald Trump from becoming our next president. I take back all the nice things I said about Romney in my book. I'm very embarrassed and disappointed with him. If he exerted half the energy to become president as he wasted on attacking Trump, our country would not be in a horrible mess that it's in today. Let's hope it's not too late for Donald Trump to save America. Type the title of my book, The Devil's Intervention into Healthcare, Politics, Churches, Courts, and Families, on YouTube, and you'll see a radio interview I did on radio station WOCA in Ocala, Florida. My book is available from Amazon and in paperback, and also on Kindle as an ebook. And my website is www.chetwilk.com. That's www.chetwilk.com. And here's the book.